Hey, what's up guys? I'm back with another video. This time it's going to be my strength build. This is for beginners, for Conan Exiles. This build is meant to get you through the game, to have a good time, to be able to kill most things. So, as you can see, I am using a great axe. That is a personal preference. The great sword will work just fine. The one-handed weapons will work fine, as long as it's a strength weapon. That's what you're really looking for. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and check out the gear. Like I said, you can have any weapon depending on where you're at, like what level, depending what you can craft, depending what you want to use will depend on the weapon that you use. You could be iron, it could be steel, hardened steel, star metal, whatever. Maybe you found one in a dungeon that you like. It could be that as well. It doesn't matter as long as it is a strength weapon. So use what you like, use what you have, and kind of go from there with the weapons. Looking at the armor, we're using the Hyperborean Slaver armor. It gives us plus 3% strength weapon damage on each piece, so that's plus 15%. So it is heavy armor. Keep that in mind. So you will need a little bit of either expertise or strength, and we are going into strength. So I personally suggest kind of doing both. You don't necessarily need to do the expertise, and I'll kind of show you where you can put those points if you decide not to. But for now, I'm going to show you the build that I'm using, and you can kind of decide for yourself. So if we look at our attributes, right now my encumbrance is 280. Because of the armor and the weapons and everything else that I have, I'm at 208. And that's with my 10 in expertise and my 20 in strength. So keep that in mind. Heavy armor weighs a lot. Especially, if you're not finding the ones that like weigh less but have really good armor, or like they're medium armor but they have heavy armor stats, which we're not using yet because we're not at that point. The point of this build is to get you to that point. So starting out, obviously we're going strength. This is a strength build. We have 20 points. We have our heavy blows, which is heavy and special attacks, deal 10% more damage. Great ability. We have to take it. Next is Combo Master or Second Skin. I take Combo Master because combo finishers deal 20% more damage. That doesn't hurt. That's pretty good. The other one is Equipped Armor, weighs 25% less. It helps a little. So because of heavy armor, it's going to help more than like if you're wearing medium armor or light armor. So you kind of choose what you feel you need. If you feel you'd rather have the second skin over the extra damage, that's up to you. I personally think Combo Master is just better if you can manage your encumbrance. Next is Berserker, which you have to take. While below 50% health, you deal 25% more damage and gain 100 armor. It's pretty good. I mean, you're dealing more damage, you have more armor. Can't really say anything bad about it, right? And then for the last thing, we have Blood Mad Berserker or Crushing Swings. I chose Blood Mad Berserker because Crushing Swings, in my opinion, is not really worth it. So Blood Mad Berserker, while below 25% health, you cannot be staggered or knocked down. Your damage is increased by an additional 10%, and your armor is increased by an additional 50%. So while it's not amazing, it's not bad. It's like amplifying your Berserker from the previous perk. It's decent. It's not amazing, but it's better than Crushing Swings. Crushing Swings is cool if you're going against a lot of shielders. Otherwise, the staggering's kind of neat. I mean, your heavy attack stagger for 25% longer and no longer rebound off shields. I feel like that is just not that good. So that's why we take Blood Mad Berserker, which is pretty good, but it's not amazing. It's not bad though. All right, moving down to Vitality. So I go to 20 in Vitality because you're going to be in their face. You're going to want the health, you're going to want these perks, and it'll just help you live. So first is Fierce Vitality. You gain passive health regen. Can't go wrong there. I use Vitality in like all of my builds because of, mostly the last one, which I'll tell you about in a second. Next is Resurgence or Fast Healer. I choose Fast Healer. You receive 50% increased healing from healing effects. This includes potions, bandages. I believe it increases your passive health regen as well because it just says healing effects. I could be wrong, but I believe so. I keep taking this, so I don't know for sure, but I believe it does work. Your other choice is receive a one-time healing effect when your health drops below 50%. Can be received again after being fully healed. I don't think that is as good. Because like, yeah, it's cool, but they don't tell you like how much the healing effect is. Um, you have to hit full health again for it to happen again, whereas the 50% increased healing is just constantly happening. So, like I said, your passive regen, your potions, your bandages, if there's a weapon that does some sort of lifesteal type thing, that's all affected by this. At least it should be. But moving on, robust increases maximum health by 100. I mean, more health. Nothing wrong with that, right? Next is Last Stand or Glutton for Punishment. Last Stand, when your health drops below 50%, you remove all negative effects and gain 95% damage mitigation for a short time. This sounds really good. It sounds fantastic. I've even thought about taking it a few times, but Glutton for Punishment is just too good. You have to take Glutton for Punishment. When you take damage, you regenerate the last instance of damage taken over 15 seconds. It's insane. It doesn't even sound like it's crazy good, but it is crazy good. Because of that ability, I always take Vitality. Vitality, yes, it's survival, so I'm sure most people would take it anyways, but Glutton for Punishment is insane. It is probably one of the best perks I've actually used aside from Authority, the well-trained perk. I would say this is one of the best. Next is Grit. We go 10 in that. If you don't feel like you need the expertise, which I mean that's up to you, you could put more points into Grit. Or if you feel like you're gonna get a Thrall and just use it a lot, put more points into Authority. Take them out of expertise. That's fine too. You decide for yourself. You could always go 5 into Authority, get the Irritate so that your followers are taunting the enemies, and then 5 into Grit. That way you have the 15 points, which gives you more armor, which also gives you the perk. Incoming damage is reduced by 15% while you're attacking or blocking. So that is a choice. It's up to you. I personally think expertise is almost needed because we're using heavy armor. So you of course don't have to use heavy armor. If you're not using heavy armor and you have like a medium armor, there are other ones for that. There's I believe a Stygian Raider set, something like that. It's a Raider set. That's medium. That gives you strength weapon damage as well. If you want to go with medium, I suggest using that through the game. When you get to higher, of course, you're going to be using legendary armor and stuff like that, so it changes everything quite a bit. But while you're going through the game, well, armor like this is going to be helpful. So, Grit. First, we have Tenacity. Increases your armor by 40 and stamina by 20. So, you're getting that either way. It's really good for a level 5 perk. I mean, it's not bad. It's not amazing, but it's not bad. Like 40 more armor and 20 more stamina. Nothing wrong with that. Next is Endurance or Stout. You could really choose either of these. I think Endurance is a little bit better because your stamina regenerating 25% faster is just better. But increases your armor by 1/5 of your current stamina. Still really good. It's just a little bit more survival. It's not like amazing. It's not going to change like how you play or anything, but it does change how much armor you have, even if it's just a little bit. So you could choose either and be fine. Like you'll have a good time either way. Like I said, if you decide to go into Grit instead of expertise, at this point you'd get defensive posture, which incoming damage is reduced by 15% while you're attacking or blocking. Just some more damage mitigation. Pretty good. If you decide to go all of your expertise into Grit, which I kind of suggest against, I always put at least 5 into my expertise, but that's just me. You could pick Shield Master or Steel Thude. Oh, Thude. So Shield Master, if you're using a shield, fantastic. You can block unblockable attacks at a higher stamina cost, and you react twice as quickly after successfully blocking. Really good. If you're not using a shield, however, you cannot take more than 25% of your maximum health and damage per hit. Hell, I might use that even if I'm using a shield. Just my thought. So, if you decide to go fully into grit, I suggest getting Steel Thewed. If you decide not to, and you decide to just kind of stick with this build, in your expertise, you go Survivalist and Efficient Harvest or Careful Harvest. Honestly, you can choose either Efficient or Careful. I've chosen both. They're both fine. Like, they're not going to change your game. Not that much. Like it changes your changes like how much you're gathering, it changes what you're gathering. So, it depends what you want to do. Choose for yourself. Efficient and Careful Harvest, both good. It is completely up to you. But Survivalist tools lose durability half as quickly, and Hunger and Thirst deplete 33% slower. Not bad. Pretty good. I always get at least to that. Not because of the perk, but the perk is great, but it's for the carry weight. Honestly, Expertise just feels like if all you're going to do is gather, it's fantastic. Go max it. If you're going to build, max it. Because you want the carry weight, you want your structural integrity to be more. You don't want to get over encumbered easily. I mean, there's no reason not to if you're just planning to kind of mess around, build, and stuff like that. That's fine. But I would only get a max of 10 if you're planning to do like the rest of the game. If you decide to take points out of Expertise and go into Authority, get Irritate. If you decide to get to, the 10 mark, I would pick Healthy Diet. Commanding Presence isn't terrible, but it's not great. It's honestly, it's just not worth taking. It sounds good because your active followers are inspired by your battle prowess and have their health restored when you deal damage in combat. It sounds really good, but I tried it. It doesn't do really anything. So I would take Healthy Diet if you do go to the 10 in there instead of Expertise or instead of Grit even, but I would probably not take out a Grit. That's just me though. If you do want to do an Authority build, you could take out a Grit and you could take out of Expertise and go into Authority. Take Well Trained for your last one. If you're just having a good time, you want to have like a pet follower and a human follower, or 2 pet followers, 2 human followers, then take War Party. But I think Well Trained is just better. So you take your pick, but this is the build. I think it works really well, and it's a lot of fun. It'll get you through the game. Yeah, you'll still probably die. I mean, don't get me wrong, it happens. Like, I'm not gonna say you could take on everything in the game with this because, well, one, our armor isn't even epic, it's just basic armor. Our weapons are like lower tier weapons, they're not even star metal. And depending where you're at, you're probably not even at steel. So you'll have to figure out for yourself what works. I do have 2 sets of armor. So here, let me see what my encumbrance would be if I took kind of everything out of my bags. So my encumbrance is now 116. So this is why you could take out Expertise. I personally just think it's good to have more of it, but you decide for yourself. So with my weapon equipped, I have 54 damage coming from my weapon, 54 damage coming from my strength, and then 8 damage coming from my items. The 8 damage is not very much. We're only getting 15% from our armor, so it's not a lot. But there are potions, there's feasts, there's a lot of things that can increase this. Obviously, better armor would be one. Thralls crafting the better armor would be another. Thralls crafting this armor would be another. Making might potions. I think it's exotic feasts. These are all things that increase your strength. So keep that in mind. I mean, you can take your time and start crafting all that stuff now, or you can wait till later. So it's up to you. Ultimately, you got to figure out what works for you. If you feel like you need that boost, then take the potions. But I want to show you guys kind of what this build can do. So let's take this off creative mode because that's what I had it on. And we're just going to kill this crocodile. So 79, 132, 79, 132. That was just light attacks. Okay, so now let's check out the heavy attacks. 132, 197. So with the hardened steel great axe, we can get up there in damage. Like 197 was what we saw. That's pretty good. Let's go to the steel. Just kind of show that it works with both, right? So let's do heavy. So 154. So that's really good. Light is 62, 103, 62. I mean, it's good damage. Like you're not going to struggle through the early game with this build. Like while you're leveling, sure, you're going to have your struggles. Obviously, you're going to die. It's going to happen. Like this game is a little unforgiving. So keep that in mind. This is not like the best build in the game. Obviously, things are going to change when you hit max level. You know, maybe you want the first stat or the first perk in agility. You're playing with a friend or you're playing with your thrall and you have the irritate perk. So you take agility, get to the first one. You got backstab. Okay, so deal 15% increased damage when attacking from behind. But this stuff will change as you play. You have to figure out your own play style. I think this build works really good while you're leveling. Maybe not as good at endgame, but if you get the right gear, it'll still work really good at endgame. Personally, I like to go agility a lot of the time because I like to use the katanas. They're fun and pretty good. But I want to show you guys that a strength build is really good. And honestly, they're the damage. They do more damage than an agility build, I would say, because I've tried both. And strength builds do more damage. So if you yourself want to do more damage, I suggest strength. If you have a thrall, I suggest agility. So it's up to you. If you just like agility weapons, you'll still do fine. Trust me, you will still do fine with agility weapons. You just have to take out of your strength, put agility, and find a different armor. So you'll have to figure that one out or wait for me to release a video on that. But for now, this is the strength build, guys. I hope you guys like it. If you like this video, hit that like button. If you want to see more content like this, hit that subscribe button. As always, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time.